Urgency has a way of sneaking in quietly, doesn't it? At first, it feels productive, things are moving, the calendar is full. You're responsive and you feel on top of things. Emails get answered faster, decisions get made quicker, your conversations get moved along back to back. And for a while, that pace feels responsible. It feels productive. But here's what most leaders miss. Urgency creates motion. It does not create momentum. And over time, urgency changes how you operate. By the way, if we haven't met yet, I'm Kelli Risse, and I work with leaders and business owners who are capable and driven, but can't sustain their current pace and find that performance starts requiring more effort than it should. Everything starts feeling urgent. And here's what happens. It narrows your thinking, shortens your patience, and it removes the margin that allows for good judgment, nuance, and perspective. Yes, work still gets done and results still happen, but everything starts requiring more effort than it should. That is the cost of urgency mode. It slowly erodes your capacity. I see this constantly with capable, driven, successful leaders. They're not behind. They're not burned out. They're operating under sustained pressure with no buffer. You see, when urgency becomes the default way everything gets handled, activity starts getting mistaken for progress. Leaders stay busy without actually moving forward. And this is an important distinction that doesn't get talked about enough. Momentum is directional. Urgency is reactive. Momentum is built intentionally. Urgency is absorbed automatically. Momentum sharpens focus. Urgency creates noise. So leaders who sustain performance over time aren't better. They are more deliberate. They don't eliminate urgency. They decide when it earns a seat at the table. One of the biggest mistakes leaders make is thinking that reducing urgency means they're lowering standards or not doing enough. It doesn't. Stabilizing how you operate before accelerating isn't hesitation, it's leadership. So when you apply to an already overloaded mental state, it just doesn't create momentum. Instead, it creates friction. And friction is what makes leadership feel heavier than it should. And there was a point where my own work like this became very clear. I wasn't underperforming. I wasn't disengaged. I was getting things done, checking off boxes, but everything felt harder than it needed to. My decisions required more energy. Conversations either felt rushed or draining, and even simple work just felt more difficult. What changed things around for me wasn't more effort. It was addressing urgency at the source. And here's what that looked like in practice. I stopped adding new decisions and finished the ones I'd been avoiding. That was it. No overhaul, no dramatic reset, just fewer open loops. And almost immediately things shifted. My thinking cleared, conversations got easier, momentum returned without forcing it. That is what restoring capacity looks like. Urgency for high achievers is easy. It feels responsible, and it definitely feels familiar. In fact, it's been rewarded for years. Capacity, on the other hand, is strategic. It requires awareness, choice, and restraint. The leaders who recognize this early don't just perform better each year, they lead differently, and that difference compounds. If urgency has been driving more of your decisions than you'd like lately, the question isn't how to move faster. The question is, what needs to be stabilized so momentum can return? That's where sustainable performance actually begins, and you can start succeeding with ease. Here is to winning in business this year. I am cheering you on.